what we're going to focus on today is just, what to do in kvCore every day, week, and month. Now, I've taught this I've taught that never in the way I'm going to teach it now, because I'm focusing on it. But I've taught it it's inside kvCore Marathon. This is what the strategy calendar, the kvCore strategy calendar is based off of. But this sort of answers the question of what do I do with kvCore? Like, what am I supposed to be doing in there? And when I finally brought this out along with the strategy calendar, there were some people that had, followed me for years and come to trainings for years and like, wow, this is what I needed. Like, this was it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Glad I finally helped you. The first thing you got to do every day is keep it simple. You're just going to log in there. Okay. Just log in. I'm really asking just for 5 days a week. And remember, I'm also going to give you my kvCore strategy calendar if you don't have that. So no worries. So you're going to log in every day. And the first 15 minutes, Monday through Friday, let's say, you're going to review your dashboard activity. Now, why did I realize that I needed to have this checklist for myself? Because I realized I was missing things. Okay. And, there's no really playbook for how to use kvCore. I mean, kvCore tries to create things and I've tried, but there's not. So we're creating our own. So this is what I developed for myself to keep myself on task, everything I'm giving you. All right. So let me, go to this reviewing the dashboard thing. And this is where you're going to respond to questions, requests, emails, and text. So I'm going to log into my kvCore. So this is my activity dashboard. Okay. Why is my activity dashboard so beautiful? Because I've done a couple things. Number one, I have a kvCore only email. So if you're somebody who has synced your email with your kvCore, and you're using just your regular business email, this might look like a big mess with like emails going back and forth to like, somebody on your team. It just doesn't make any sense. I always talk about having a kvCore only email so that you can like just keep everything really clean and have that email only be for the leads in kvCore back and forth. And I will make sure too that you all have that link for time blocking your way to success with kvCore, where I talk about that kvCore only email. The other reason it looks beautiful is because I'm pretty good at generating leads regularly and making sure my people are in campaigns. Am I perfect at it? No, you cannot be perfect at this. You just can't. All right, but I'm pretty good at it. So I've got lots of, recent activity happening and new leads and such, and that's fun. All right, so when I'm in my dashboard, this is my activity dashboard. This is just kind of what's going on in your kvCore today. The first 15 minutes, you just got to see, is there any new questions that you got to deal with? And this gives me anxiety. I'll just be honest. Like, I am an agent like you. Okay. So I'm like, shoot. Somebody's going to ask me a question. I got to do some work. Shoot. Okay. So I'm going to go to questions. And I already know there's one in here that I haven't dealt with yet. And I'm like, cool. Good job, Sylvia. 3 days ago, I haven't dealt with this one. She asked a question about this property and she thinks it's my listing. She has questions about this property, about the septic. I have not dealt with it yet. I'm going to do that today as soon as we're done with this. And hopefully I didn't miss her, because 3 days is a long ass time. It is a long ass time. When somebody has a question about a property, that means they're ready to go. And I've missed the boat on this one. So all I can do is pray and hope that I didn't miss the boat, but maybe I did. Okay. So if you see a question, that's why you want to look at it every day. Is there a question there that you have to deal with and answer and contact that person to make sure you've responded and you've done everything you can do to show that person you're motivated and ready to work with them? I'm motivated, but apparently I'm not ready to work with them. That's my issue I have to deal with. So it's all a learning experience. Every day I'm learning. So you want to see if you have any new questions, because people do ask questions about properties in here. All right. Especially as you get more and more leads, or even your sphere. Okay. Then you also might see showing requests. This is an interesting one, but once in a while, out of the blue, somebody who you don't know, who's just in your system checking out properties, will request a showing. They'll be looking at a property and request a showing, and because they're treating it like Zillow, and you have to be careful not to miss these because they do it. They ask. Now, where will you get notified of this besides looking here? If you have your kvCore mobile app on your phone and you're logged in to the mobile app's kind of weird because sometimes it kicks you out and then you have to re-log in. So it's something you got to check on now and then. But if you're logged in and you have the push notifications on, any questions or messages that are coming from kvCore, you will get pushed on the app to you. You'll also get lead notifications texted to you to help you not miss stuff. But when our phone dings and a lot of people calls and NAR or some health insurance person saying, oh, I'm representing NAR and I'm trying to sell you health insurance every 5 minutes. It's hard to deal with your phone, right? So I get it. So property view, questions, showing requests, and then new text messages. If somebody might give you a text message or reply with a text message. Now, sometimes you'll see these stop, and this just or just thank you, what these are when people are saying stop. What happens, you guys, is by default, it doesn't matter. Like maybe they're on a campaign that includes a text message. Maybe they visited your website and they got a behavior alert automatically where they got a text message, or you manually sent a text message to somebody. If it's the first text message they get, by default, kvCore includes the following little line, like if you'd rather not communicate via text, reply, stop, or unsubscribe. And that's what happens. So some people don't, they don't really know what this is, or they don't know it's you, or they don't know it's your number, or they're not familiar with you yet. They will say unsubscribe from text. Doesn't mean you can't call them, try to establish that relationship and say, hey, is it okay to text you about this? And then resubscribe them. Okay. So just don't freak out when people do that. All right. So that's the other thing you got to do. See if there's any new emails. So again, I have synced an email to my kvCore, but I use an email that I use strictly for kvCore only. So it's real pretty. It's only conversations with my leads only. All right. So if there's anything I need to reply to, acknowledge, thanks for that. Thanks for your greeting. Thanks for letting me know that, and making any notes you need to make in the CRM about these replies, about these questions, then do that. Okay. So that's thing one. What's next? 15 minutes of reviewing any new leads you got, checking on search alerts, market reports, campaigns, and valuations. So if you guys don't have leads yet, you're going to start getting some. If you start adding your contact, your sphere to your kvCore, and you can set your sphere contacts or your past clients up on search alerts, market reports, campaigns, and valuations, by the way. So this applies to even you if you don't have a ton of leads coming in yet. All right. So what are we going to do here? We're going to go to the Smart CRM and we're going to just look at any new leads that we got. I see there's some chats. Yeah, Latoya, the app exists. It's actually, so it's the kvCore mobile app. So kvCore has two apps. One is the Open House app, and one is the kvCore mobile app. So go to your app store for Google Play or Android and type in kvCore mobile app or kvCore Open House. You download those two apps, log in, and it's like and then the kvCore mobile app is your CRM right on your phone. And you can actually create squeeze pages from it. I never do that, but some people are good at that stuff. And then when you get a message, a text message or email from a client or a prospect, a lead prospect, you know how when you get the text message from your phone and then you think you could reply to that person's text and it says delivery can't be done or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's because you need to use the mobile app to reply to the text if you're not on your computer. Okay. So there you go. It also has like a single line dialer actually, so so it's cool. So then at the bottom of the mobile app, you have the little phone, it says dialer, you click on that and then it'll say, it'll give you a list like today's calls, activity stream, like all the most active leads, your new leads, and you can choose which section to dial and say start dialing. And it's real slow. Okay. It's not like a Mojo dialer. It's a single line dialer. But what's cool is then you can say start dialing. and then it'll kind of go to that first one and count down like 3, 2, 1, and then you press call. You just say, okay, I'm ready to call that person. And and the call will come from your cell phone because you're on your cell phone, and caller ID will come from your cell phone. And then you can have the conversation or leave the message. And then you can actually then take notes. Like I contacted them, there was no voicemail greeting set up, so I couldn't leave a message, whatever it is, you can leave a note and then go through the process that way. You can also dial by a hashtag. Like, so if you have, people you go to church with, you dial that hashtag and do it that way, so cool.
What is the open house app?
The open house app is, it only works for any like tablet, mobile device, tablet or phone. Doesn't work on like a laptop, but any kind of mobile device. And it's where you can set up your listing, and any listing really that you're doing an open house for. And it's like a, feedback, like people can register on your open house. And then once they enter, then they become a new lead in your system. And if you have the open house campaign up and running, because there is one in here that there's a kvCore default campaign called open house. You can add that to your kvCore library, turn it on, and then any source that comes from that app will automatically be on that campaign, and they get like a first text message like within the first 4 hours, like, thanks, nice meeting you at the open house. What else? I'm just looking at some of your questions. Maria, you can have an assistant like I have several people log into my kvCore account at one time, and it doesn't seem like there might be 3 people in there at once, and it does not seem to be an issue. Okay. At all. I've never had an issue that I know of with that. Now, I will tell you, for the longest time, I thought something that wasn't true. I finally got it confirmed that if you have an assistant who's non-licensed and you don't have a team account with kvCore, and you're an EXP agent, so maybe if you're not an EXP agent, your brokerage admin can do this for you. But at EXP, you can go to tech support and say, I have a non-licensed assistant. I want them to have their own login to my kvCore that's separate from mine. You can actually request that. I didn't know that till recently, because when I asked kvCore tech support before, like, oh no, they have to be licensed and they have to be with your same brokerage and they have to have their own kvCore account. I'm like, well, what's the point of having a team account then? But anyway, I learned because I got to the right person. But anyway, okay. So the second task of this, what to do in kvCore every day, week, and month, after you've reviewed all your questions, texts, showing requests, all that, then now you're going to look at your new leads. And when you go to your smart CRM, the newest leads will be at the top. Okay. And so I can go through and see what's going on here. I'm going to address this one in a minute. This is a address. I only got an address. I didn't get an email, didn't get a name, don't have a phone number. I'm going to address this in a minute, what to do with this. Okay. So no worries. But let's look at this one. I got a buyer lead. They were on Facebook. I had posted a squeeze page, a single property squeeze page the other day promoting this property. And I did it yesterday. I actually did it while I was training in my 30-day challenge I'm doing. And this is the lead that I got. And they're on my Facebook buyer campaign by default. My primary lender, who is added to my kvCore account as my primary lender, was also assigned this lead. It did a validation run automatically to identify what this person's name was based on the email address. And I can see that's happening. Now, who knows what else is going to happen within 24 to 48 hours of this buyer lead looking at a property? Who knows?
They're going to get property alerts.
Yes. Thanks, Shelly, for helping. Yes. So yes. So a buyer, who is a buyer in kvCore's eyes? A buyer's a new lead who just registers on your website because they looked at a squeeze page. That's what a new buyer lead is. And that new buyer lead, because kvCore can tell they looked at a property, within 24 to 48 hours is going to start getting a property alert set up for them automatically daily similar properties in the area, but it's going to take about 24 to 48 hours to naturally happen. Okay. So I can go in here ahead of time if I want to and set up that property alert. Now there's two property alerts I could set, two different property alerts I could set up for this person. I can choose the area, like they're looking at in Wyoming for this type of house. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So when I'm setting up, let's say I want to set up the search alert ahead of time and I don't want kvCore to automatically create it. I can go ahead and do this. So I'm going to choose like city of Wyoming, and they're looking at single family homes. And just for fun, I'm also going to add condos because I don't know this person yet or what they want. And I'm also going to add multifamily like duplexes because again, I don't know this person or what they're looking for. I'm not going to worry about, I'll do price range. It was a $250,000 house. So I'm just going to go up to 300,000 and a minimum of 100,000. I get there's going to be nothing for 100,000, but this is what I'm going to put in here. I'm not going to worry about beds and baths because I don't know this person yet. I'm not going to do keywords. And I can do daily because that's what's going to happen automatically. Or I could do like twice a week. Whatever I am comfortable with and set the alert. So if I let this happen automatically, kvCore would find similar properties in that general price range, same kind of similar beds and baths. And it works great most of the time. It'll set it up daily. But sometimes when it doesn't work is when you have a property that's too unique. If that person looked at a property that was really unique for that area, they looked at a duplex in like a rural area, and there was no other duplexes or multifamily properties anywhere in that vicinity, kvCore is not going to be able to find any similar listings. So whether, you're setting that for them or going back after kvCore creates the search alert and kind of cleaning it up to like make sure more properties show, either way is fine. Both. All right. So I've set that up.
I have a really quick question on this. And if it's too detailed, we can talk about it another time. But when you're setting up a property squeeze page, is there a way with a hashtag to attach the alert to the hashtag?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will go ahead and address that right now really, really fast.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So what she's asking is if she created a single property squeeze page, and somebody had asked, by the way, how do I get a lot of my traffic with a landing page or what? I use squeeze pages, mostly single property squeeze pages or a what's my home worth seller squeeze page. Those are my two ways. Okay. That I get leads the most. Anyway, so what Shelly's asking is if she created a squeeze page that had a certain hashtag on it so that when that lead came in, a certain search alert would be set up. How would she do that? So I'm going to go to marketing, all marketing. And then I'm going to go to search alerts. Took me a while to learn this too. Okay. And then you can create an alert. So let's say, you have one for Wyoming, like that's the city. You want to just create a search alert for the city of Wyoming. And so let's say I do this. I'm going to say, Wyoming. Okay. And then click on it. So, and then I'm going to create the search alert for Wyoming, Michigan. All right. So I selected the location. I could also draw a map, like if it was a neighborhood and I could kind of draw the general neighborhood. I could do that. Anytime you guys use geographical areas, don't use it. Just don't. That's a no-no. Okay. I don't worry about keywords. Keywords are like, design of the home, for example. Like you're like, oh, I only want to show my person ranches because that's what they asked for. Like, look at all these options. Why don't I do that? Who knows?
Because it depends if the listing agent enters.
Exactly. Because listing agents aren't smart or nice or helpful. And they don't know what they're doing sometimes. And so I just don't try to get too specific with even the MLS sometimes on the design. Like someone's like, I really want an A-frame. That's nice. How about when you see a picture of one, we go see that? You tell me and we'll go see it, because you can't, a listing agent won't put in contemporary just because the home has been updated, but it's just a ranch home. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. You could also do options like just listed or newly built or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. You could also do beds and baths and price ranges, but I'm not going to do that because this is generic and I don't know who these people are yet. And then I can say daily. I want them to get, when this hashtag comes in, I want them to get this. So I can click add alert. Now, when I create the squeeze page and I say, what hashtags do I want to be assigned to the squeeze page? So when I get a lead from that link, that hashtag will be assigned. I'll make sure to put in Wyoming.
So there's nowhere else you need to attach it. It's just, if it's there in search alerts and you've got the hashtag on the squeeze page, it knows to combine it.
Yep. So if I go into a single property squeeze page and create, find the listing on remote and then put the hashtag Wyoming there and then post the squeeze page, then if that hashtag comes in with the lead, Wyoming will be attached to that lead and it will trigger the search alert. There are a couple caveats. Number one, it will only work if that person doesn't already have a search alert set up. If there's already been a search alert set up, it won't work. Okay. The other caveat, it won't generate itself for about 24 to 48 hours, just like a regular search alert works. It will apply, but it'll take 24 to 48 hours for it to apply.
I think that's fine.
So that's how that works. Okay. So, checking on the search alerts, market reports. So let's go back. So I'll just kind of do this. So one thing that's not going to happen automatically is a market report won't get set up for, your sphere or your new lead unless they subscribe. So you can manually subscribe them to a market report. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just for this person as a demonstration. So we set up a search alert. Again, I didn't have to do that. It could have been set up automatically within 24 to 48 hours, but now you know how to do it or go in and edit it. I can add a market report and I'm going to put in for Wyoming. And you can do this for zip codes, cities, counties. Okay. As far as these market reports and search alerts. And it doesn't, there it goes. Okay. There it goes. When you click on it, if you see this button, it worked. And then you can choose to send the report however often you want, up to 28 days at the longest. I'm going to choose 28 days and add that. All right. If they're my sphere and I know their address, I can add them to a listing valuation as well. Okay. Now, so that's what you're going to do, is go through and check on that stuff. The other thing I wanted to say about the listing valuations, because this just came up the other day for me. So this one, so this is a seller lead I got, and the listing valuation is going to be automatically there because they requested a home valuation. For sellers, I'll also put them on a property alert that they'll get if they haven't looked at a property. I'll set them up to get new listings in their zip code once or twice a month. And I'll set them up on a 28-day market report as well. Make sure they're on a campaign. And then if it's not a new lead, if it's an older lead, I'll look at when this says last checked. What last checked means is when is the last time that this home valuation was updated and sent automatically to the person. And I've noticed on a couple of mine that I've looked through recently, older ones from like December of last year, January from last year, it says last check like January of 2022. And I'm like, WTF. So I had to put in a support ticket with kvCore and did confirm, yes, it's every 28 days. They're supposed to get those listing valuations, but mine and several of my leads were stuck. So they were working on it, but so that's something to check. But if you notice that, you can click update and send and it will do it, but it should send automatically every 28 days, guys, FYI. So the first 15 minutes, review your questions. After the second 15 minutes, review your new leads, make sure they're on the things. The next 15 minutes, you're going to call your new leads, call them, leave voicemail, send follow-up text, and or send video messages. So let me just show you. Let's say I go to this one that we were just looking at, Bev. Okay, so obviously I can't call her, don't know her phone number. I just have an email address. Okay, so what are some things I could do? I could send her an email asking her for her phone number. But what's great with these ones that could help is video messages. So there's a couple ways you can do video messages. Let's talk about the free ways. You could go to loom.com and you can create up to 25 videos on loom.com. It's a free Chrome extension, and your videos can be up to 5 minutes long. And you create the video, it creates a link, and then you can send that link to somebody in an email. You can also see when it's been opened, and that's a nice option for free. You could do a video on YouTube and make it unlisted, so that only the person with the link could find it and see it. So that's some free ways. If you have kvCore and you have Core Video, even if you don't have Core Video upgrade, if you just have the free version, when you click on this, you'll know if you have a free version, because it'll say, you have the free version or you can upgrade. But for free, you can send up to 10 individual video messages every month through email. If you upgrade to Core Video Premium, this is a BombBomb integration, and it's really nice because you get a true BombBomb account. You have a BombBomb account where you can see your whole library of videos. You can see your library of videos inside kvCore here. You can use these videos to put on campaigns if you have generic videos that's not addressing just one person, but like, new buyers, new sellers. You can also send through text with this BombBomb integration, Core Video Premium, and you can send as many as you want. And you can use those videos elsewhere on the internet. You can download them and upload them to YouTube. You can send them an email, all kinds of things. So it's $30 a month, and I think it's worth it if you like doing video. Anyway, I'm going to demonstrate this for y'all. And so if you are familiar with BombBomb, you'll see I got this little board here. I'm going to find my marker here. And then her name's Bev Vander Hulst. Good thing I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to put Bev. Put her name here. And I'm a little smiley face. Okay. I look decent enough, I guess. Okay. So now I'm going to go open recorder. I'm going to name the video. So this video name is for myself, a video name. So I can, oh gosh. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. It's going to be is what it is. She's going to have to like a crazy lady. Okay. Okay. So video, and then I put her name, Bev Vander Hulst. Because I'm naming this, and then when I go in my little library of videos, I'll be able to identify which video this was, so I can just say, oh, I can delete that or whatever. All right, so I'm gonna hit record, and she was looking in Wyoming, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, Bev, it's Sylvia Dana here with eXp Realty here in Grand Rapids area. And I noticed you checked out a property on my website, a home in Wyoming. And I'm curious if you're thinking about buying or selling soon. I wonder, how soon would you like to buy? Or are you just browsing? Or do you have a home to sell? If you have any questions, or you're just curious about the market, either way is fine for me. I'm here to help you. Again, I'm right here in the Grand Rapids area. I'm a local real estate agent, Sylvia Dana with eXp Realty. And please let me know if you have questions. I don't have your phone number, so if you'd like to call me or reply back with your phone number, I'd love to help you better. Thanks, Bev. Bye. You're just a person talking to a person. You don't have to be perfect or a rock star, okay? You just talk like a normal person does. All right, so I'm going to use this recording. Yes. And it's thinking. There you go. So there it is. I'm going to name this now in the subject line. I'm going to put video message for Bev from Sylvia at eXp Realty with a little smile. And usually this subject line, 95% of the time gets them to open it up. It's pretty cool. And then you also want to write a little message so they know what this is. I saw you viewed a property in Wyoming on my real estate website. So you're telling them who you are and what you want. Are you thinking about buying or selling soon? question mark, let me know. I'm happy to help. And then I'm going to make sure my signature is included. So my signature from my agent profile is there. And I got my subject line, the video's there, a message. Good. Okay, send. So again, you can do that free 10 times a month individual emails. Or if you upgrade to Core Video Premium, you can do it through text. You can do it as many emails as you want. And you can have the BombBomb integration where you can use that, use the video anywhere. So that's one strategy to try to convert these leads you don't have a phone number for. What's nice about that whiteboard, I learned that when I had a BombBomb account, but what's nice about it is, when people get these messages, they're the Giphy Jiffy, and I never know how to say it, so I call it the Giphy Jiffy. But when people see their name, and it's like they see like the little animated clip, and so it draws their attention, like, oh, that message is for me, and so they're just more likely to actually look at it. The other thing that's nice about that Core Video Premium add-on is, it gives you your own BombBomb account that's separate, but I can also, like, if I go here and I can go to my library and I can see like my library of videos. If I have any generic videos I want to send this person individually, I can, or if I've created generic videos just about a general topic, I can put those in campaigns and send them here. I can also include in text, and then, or I can also log into BombBomb itself. I have a BombBomb app. I have a separate BombBomb account with those same library videos where I can download the videos, upload them somewhere else, share them some other way. And I also have the BombBomb tracking app. So on my Gmail account, I can see when anybody's opened up any of my emails anywhere in any email account I am, because I can use that Chrome extension for everything. So it's a true BombBomb account. It's pretty nice. Oh, okay. RingMD. To prevent things going to spam, the number one key, there's two little tips. In your agent profile, go to my profile, and in your profile, make sure that this from email is a true email address, not an alias. So those of us who are Epique Realty, that is a forwarding email address. So we don't have a true inbox for that. It just gets forwarded to like our business email, let's say. So don't use that one. Use an email address that has a true inbox. I'm going to put in the chat right now that whole my time blocking to success with kvCore video. This is where I talk about why I use a kvCore only email. I talk about that kvCore only email being in your from email. I talk about my kvCore strategy calendar in this video. So there's a lot of good training in here. I'm going to stick that in here now. Okay. Oh, the other thing I want to say about, following up with your leads is, because you can send the message, right? So you can make the call, you can send the video message, you can update the contact. So I just want to address that really quick. As soon as kvCore wants to. So this is when I have a phone number for. So let's say I want to make a call. I can call from the mobile app like I talked about and make the note about it, reschedule the call, whatever, make myself a task right in that app, or I can do it from here. Now, if I call from the app, the caller ID will come from my cell phone number. If I call from here, the dashboard, it comes from my smart number. Who wants to tell me what is really important to know about that? I'll just tell you the answer. If I call from this dashboard, it's going to come from the smart number. And the reason that matters is because if you don't have your own personal smart number, you're paying $27 a month for, you're in the danger zone, because that shared smart number is shared with other agents, either if you're on a team platform, other agents on your team, or it's shared with the other agents in your region. Like in my office, I'm in Epique Realty, West Michigan. And so if I'm using a shared smart number, and that lead decides to call the number back, it could get round robin to a different agent. Okay. So my two favorite add-ons in kvCore are, number one, the smart number for $27 a month. And if you're going to be using kvCore at any high level, that would be the first one I would do. Okay. And then the second one, if you like the video thing, the second one would be that core video premium. Okay. So I can call now from here if I want to. What it does, it actually then calls your cell phone and then it connects. I can log the call and put a note about it. Contact, not home, bad number, or I can schedule a new call. I can also, create a note, add a note here, copy my lender on it, pin it to the top. So like this is a note that's pinned to the top. What does pinned to the top mean? I'm using this little thumbnail. This means that every time I come here, this note's always at the top. So like if I actually talk to somebody, I get the lay of the land, like, hey, they have a lender. This is the lender they're working with. They haven't found a realtor to work with yet, blah, 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 blah. They're moving to the area because of such and such a reason. They have a house to sell in their area and I could find them a referral agent, blah, blah, blah. So whatever notes you have, you could just pin to the top here. Okay. That's what I think all I wanted to say about that. Oh, and then finally, conducting a process for seller lead conversion. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you my process for seller lead conversion. Then I'm going to quickly, not through demonstrating each little thing, but quickly show you these other slides so you can take screenshots or have them. I can also share the link to the slides in here. It's fine with me but what I'm telling you is like the biggest stuff. And I'll make sure you guys have my DIY guide, especially for your newbies who are like, I don't know what a squeeze page is. Okay. All right. Ready? I gotta have a little drink of water. My Italian sparkling mineral water that tastes like lime. I like this from Aldi because it's cheap and I like it. Okay. Makes me feel like it's like the Pellegrino, only cheap. Okay. And better. I don't know. It's better. Okay. Seller lead process. So you're going to get leads like this from time to time. What the hell is this? You might be thinking. Okay. Well, what happened was somebody went on your website or they found a seller squeeze page that you posted and it was your instant home value page. And they put in their address here and they're like, okay, get estimate. And then it says, oh, to get the value, you got to put your email in or Facebook or Google. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. Nah, don't feel like it. I'll just go to Zillow. Not that important to me, But guess what? I still get an address. If they do log in, then I get the information. But if they don't, which is a good handful of times, I'm still going to get the address. And that is a good lead. And I will tell you, and I keep saying it over and over again because it's absolutely true, that I convert more of those that don't give me an address, an email and phone number than those that I do. So this picture, I've told you before, if you've followed me, this picture is a little home, northwest side of Grand Rapids. Somebody put in their address. I didn't have an email, didn't have a name, didn't have a phone number. Figured her out, which I'm going to show you my process now, mailed her something. She called me, listed her house like 3 days later. These are the ones that convert. It's weird. Okay. All right. Ready? So how do you do this? If you're in United States, you're going to use RPR. If you're in Canada, you have something similar called Geo Warehouse, but basically you're going to be able to find at least the owner's name, like at least. Okay. All right. So, and with RPR, it tells me quite a bit. So I'm going to go and just show you really quick what I do. So I'm going to grab, and hopefully this will come easy. We'll see. Might be hard, but let's hope it comes easy. So I'm going to go here to my RPR, and I'm going to put in the address. Now, one thing you need to know about RPR is it doesn't like you to spell out like everything. So you got to be tricky. Okay, so South. Oh, there it is. South Gordon. Now, so South, if I just did like this, South Gordon Avenue, then it pops right up. Weird. But anyway, there it is. Okay, here it is. Here's the property summary. It will tell you usually the last time it sold if it's more recent enough, or if it was on the MLS, anytime in the last 15 years or even 20 years, it'll show you. If it's too old, it won't show you. So that means this hasn't probably been sold in a while. Okay. It shows you a general average. So it looks like this is on a little lake, which is nice. and it shows me the owner's name. So the first thing I can do is I can take this name and I can stick his name here like so. And now I got his name. Step one. Step two, I can, if the sometimes the zip code and stuff won't show, so you can just click on here to like make Google double check it and then save it, and then it will show you. But that one was working fine that time. I don't have an email address, so even though this listing evaluation is here, I can't obviously send it to anyone. If I wanted to stalk this person using like Red X or Vulcan 7 and get an email and a number, I could do that and add this information in there. But I never do that. I just start mailing them stuff. And if it's a beautiful day and I'm bored or I really need to inject my business, I'll actually door knock them with these door hangers I get on Amazon. And I put, what I'm about to show you, I put in here with some candy and like a pen and I'm good to go. All right. So now I know this person's name. So now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to, update the information and I'm going to create a flyer. So I'm just going to show you how this looks really quick, but because my assistant's going to do this for me. I used to do this myself and, work through the middle of the night to do stuff, but now I have an assistant so that I don't have to work quite that hard anymore. But let me show you what she does. So I'm going to go here to filters and I'm going to go to new leads and prospects and I'm going to go to sellers. And I'm going to apply filters. And then, because I just want to show you how we do these. Take a drink of my water while it's thinking, because there's just so many leads in there. Just so many. All right. So here was one. So this one only had a thing. You'll notice this says from Detroit. I don't know, Maria, you're still here? So what's fun is maybe if I get this, so I've done this for agents, like when people from other cities that are not anywhere near I serve, because that's like 2.5 hours away from me. I will get the lead. I'll still do the mailing. People will still call me and then I'll refer it out and I get 25% for like doing 10 minutes of work. It's pretty nice. Okay. So I got this one from Detroit. Okay. It's not a lot of money, but hey, it's something. Because it's, probably a really cool area of Detroit. It's okay. You can leverage that listing and use it to get new listings and work with investors and stuff. So anyway, so what my assistant does, she puts in the name and then she puts in the address, who the owner is, when's the last time it sold, what the value is showing, 3 beds, 1 bath, and how many square feet, whether it's owned or occupied or not. And then she pins it to the top so that I can see it. Okay. So that's step one of what she does. Second, she goes into RPR and she creates a report that's just a property flyer. Boop. Okay, she just creates the property flyer and she writes some stuff. She writes a headline and a little note and shows the estimated value and creates the report. So let me show you what these look like. So here's one. It says off market, estimated home value. Here's the address. Then we put the headline, your home value estimate. And then we have a little description. Now this one was somebody from my sphere. So it looks like she's working right now on my sphere. So this is Mary and Jeff. So she'll call my name, whatever their name is. Hi, so-and-so. If it's somebody who's an online lead, it says, because I'll show you another example. It says, you recently requested your home value on my website. I wanted to give you an update. The actual value could be higher or lower. Let's have a quick conversation to discuss it, blah, blah, blah. So, but this is what she sends to my sphere. I hope you're well. Thought you might be interested in your current home value estimate. The actual value could be higher or lower than the estimate. Let's have a quick conversation. Now I do have this little call to action that says schedule a call, visit sylviadana.com/meet. But most people, they just call or text me. Okay, what's her number? And then they just text that or call me. Say, hey, like the flyer, want to list my house. Like literally that's how it happens. Okay, so this one's a online lead and I can copy this and put it in the chat. It's not rocket science. Frank, I'm not linking RPR to kvCore. No, All right, so that's just the little message I send the online leads. And then, so what happens is Yen, my assistant, the one that does this, she's actually the Philippines. So she's creating these flyers and she's not going to print these and mail them. Okay. So what does she do with them? She puts them, I have a shared Google Drive that I created called RPR Project. And she puts the flyers in this shared folder. She makes sure she names she names the file, the person, the owner's name. And when you create the file, it automatically creates it by the address. So she just adds the person's name there. Okay, the full name. And then here it is. So then what happens? Well, my stateside assistant, because I'm fancy now, again, I used to do this myself. Okay, my stateside assistant every couple days goes in here, prints this bad boy out, folds it into 4, sticks it in a cute little like colorful envelope that looks like a birthday card because it's going to be a bright, fun color, hand writes the envelope with this person's information, stamps it, mails it, puts my business card in there. Works pretty nice. And then ta-da. The other thing, so that's how that works. And then he reports to me like each week how many of them we sent out. And then I can also go in here and see Yen puts in, like she puts in this hashtag RPR July 2022, just to alert all of us that this project happened for this address this month, because then in about 3 months, we'll go back and check. And if it hasn't been done in about a quarter, about 3 months, then we'll do it again. So every quarter, we'll just keep that up. Okay. Now I can get a little fancier here. If I do have an email, what do I do? If I do have an email, what do I do? Well, if I have an email, we do the same thing, still mail them everything, but we also send this email. So this email says property analysis report for the address. And you can see they opened it because they usually open it because they recognize their address. And so they'll open it. So basically, it's just a little template that I use. And I say, hey, so-and-so, you previously requested your home value for, and then it fills in the blank, what the property address is. I've created your complete property and market analysis report for you. It includes your home's value, your market activity, similar properties. And this is a link. You can view and download the report here. This link will be available for the next 30 days. Let me know if you have any questions. And when they click on it, it goes to the report. Now, what's cool, when you create these, this is a full 26-page property report. So, we can email the link, but we're also going to mail them that 1-page flyer as well. But what's cool is when you create these full property reports online on RPR, this is a live link that does last for 30 days. So, ta-da! I just copy that link and stick it in there like so, and boom. So that's the process. So that's the last thing you're going to do every day is see what new seller leads you got and conduct that process. So this is what you're going to do every day in kvCore. Now I want to show you, I'm going to share these slides with you. But this is what you're going to do every week. I'm just going to say these out loud and list them. You're going to create a single property squeeze page to post, share in groups or boost. You're going to conduct a 2-hour follow-up session to review and call and message your active leads. Active leads are the ones that have responded to you. And so you'll actually be able to see the active leads because it'll say they're an active lead with this green button. So you can apply the filters and just go through your active leads, people who have responded to you in some way, even if they said unsubscribe. Okay, they're still an active lead and you still want to try to do something with them. All right. And then you're also going to conduct a 2-hour every week. You're going to conduct a 2-hour call session to check in on your sphere of influence. Make notes in there like, hey, so-and-so just started soccer. So-and-so's daughter is getting married. So-and-so is getting a new job, whatever, and post those notes in kvCore to update their profile. Make sure you know when their birthday is, and you've got that in their profile really quick to show you if you don't know. If I go into profile details and edit the details, this is where you can, if you could put a past client's last close date and opt them in to get the automatic home anniversary message or home anniversary text. Same with the birthday. Okay, so update the profile when you're talking to your sphere. Make sure you got all the best, most current information, best address, best da-da-da-da. Make it a goal for every week that you're adding 25 new leads and or contacts. So leads can come from leads that you're generating online, or contacts and leads can come from people you meet out on the street, or new referrals you get, sign calls you get, and you're adding them to your database. So make it a goal for 25 a week. And then another challenge is to do a Facebook Live video every week. You're on Facebook Live, you're on your business page or on your personal page. I don't care. You're at a showing, you're at a new listing, you just showed a cool listing and there's like a really cool, sweet pool in the backyard and you just want to show it in your video. You're at an inspection and, come across something interesting. You're at a new business, at a new winery, with friends, do a Facebook Live video. You meet with a lender and you learn something cool about interest rates. You do a quick video. You're at a community event. You just do a quick video. I mean, this can be like literally 1 minute long. Just, hey, here I am. Look at me. I want to tell you about this because I think you like this. And then you can use that content that you create on Facebook anywhere. You can like download the Facebook Live video and upload it to YouTube, share it in like a weekly mass email you send through kvCore, put it in a blog post. It's nice to have this content that you just kind of automatically creating for yourself. And that's one way to do it. So that's what you're gonna do every week. And then every month, I'm challenging you to write one blog post at least once a month in kvCore. Maybe you have WordPress too, and you can include it there, but an authentic one that you're creating, that you're writing, that, and it doesn't have to be, it could be bullet points, like how to qualify for a VA loan, bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click here for more information. I mean, really, that's can be, okay. Then create and post and boost maybe a landing page different than a squeeze page. A landing page will allow you to like promote an event, maybe like a home buyer seminar. You could ask people to subscribe to your newsletter. You could offer a free download, like a buyer guide and get a lead from it, or offer a list of properties weekly. And through a landing page, you create a call capture code. For like Instagram, Craigslist, mailing, sign writers, anywhere that, a print mailing, a door hanger thing, anywhere that doesn't like links, you can use call capture codes from kvCore, text 123 to this phone number to get this information about whatever it is, whether it's a listing or an event or a PDF or whatever. I also challenge you once a month to devote one full day of training to kvCore. Like, today, I'm going to focus on my lead follow-ups. Today, I'm going to build a custom campaign. Today, I'm going to do some lead generation activities or learn something that I need to learn in kvCore once a month. And then finally, conducting a lead audit once a month in kvCore, updating the pipeline. I had realized I needed to put this on my checklist because I'm terrible at this. So like, let's say I get a new lead and then that lead becomes a client and then that lead goes under contract and then that lead is closed. And then now that lead needs to go in my sphere. Like, I'm not good at keeping up with that. So I decided it had to be on my checklist. What do I mean by that? So let's say I go here to client and look at the people I marked as clients. This is wrong. This is really old. I haven't moved these people. Okay, client, you're actually closed. Okay. Oopsie. Okay. And then I could go over here. Let's see. Who do I have under contract? That'll be funny. Oh yeah. Oh, they closed. That wasn't so bad, but they're closed now. Okay. Anyway, you go through here, and anybody who's a new lead that actually is a client now, whatever. So kind of moving things through the pipeline so that your business analytics make a lot more sense. Okay. And that the right campaigns are going and such. All right. I'm going to quick look at some of these questions now. Is the smart number forwarded to your cell? Yes. When somebody calls the smart number, it comes to your cell phone. All right. Can we add a Google phone number or your own phone number instead of paying for a smart number? No. Sasha, should we mail and email? Yep. Okay. Where do we find RPR? Okay, Randy. So what you're going to want to do to find RPR is you can go nar RPR And then if you're not logged in, it'll ask you to log in. And then it'll basically log in with your NAR ID, your NERDS number. And if you don't know it, it'll say you can quick look it up with your last name and email address, and it'll show you. And then you go in here and you create your profile, and ta-da. And it already knows what brokerage you're with, so it'll be in there. All right. Any final questions? All right. How can you get phone numbers? If you want to get phone number, I think RedX I like RedX. It's not too expensive. I think, and that's one way. And emails. Another cheaper one is called kvCore Realty Resource. And then a more expensive one is called Vulcan 7. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and you feel like you've got some good content and you're ready to go. Bye, everybody.